In the shadows of history, there are tales whispered in hushed tones, stories of figures who defy the natural order of aging and time. Today, we journey into one of the most chilling and captivating of these legends, the story of Elizabeth Bathory, the Blood Countess. Was she a monster, a victim of political intrigue, or something far more complex? Born into one of Hungary's most powerful noble families in 1560, Elizabeth was intelligent, well-educated, and possessed a chilling beauty that was said to be her greatest pride. She was married young to a powerful soldier, Ferenc Nadasdy, the Black Knight of Hungary. While he was away at war, Elizabeth managed their vast estates with an iron fist. It was during these long years of solitude and absolute power that the darkest rumors began to fester. The whispers started with the servant girls. Young women lured to Čachtice Castle with promises of good work and pay would simply vanish. Local peasants spoke of screams echoing from the castle walls in the dead of night, of disfigured bodies found in the surrounding fields and forests. But who would dare to challenge a woman of Bathory's immense wealth and stature? As the years passed, the legends grew more gruesome. The Countess, obsessed with her fading beauty, was said to have discovered a macabre fountain of youth. The story goes that after striking a serving girl in frustration, a drop of the girl's blood landed on her skin. When she wiped it away, the skin beneath seemed younger, smoother, rejuvenated. From this single, horrifying moment, an obsession was born. The tales claim she began bathing in the blood of her young victims, believing it to be a magical elixir that could halt the ravages of time. She allegedly had a network of accomplices who would procure more and more girls for her horrific rituals. They spoke of torture chambers, of iron maidens, and of a woman so consumed by vanity that she lost all semblance of humanity. But how much of this is truth, and how much is terrifying folklore? For decades, her power made her untouchable. But after her husband's death, her political protection began to wane. The rumors reached the ears of King Matthias II, and an investigation was finally launched, led by Elizabeth's own cousin, Giarugi. Thurzo. What Thurzo and his men claimed to have found at Čachtice Castle in the winter of 1610 was a scene from a nightmare. They reported finding girls dead and dying, others imprisoned and tortured. The official accounts, based on the testimony of over 300 witnesses, painted a picture of unimaginable cruelty. Witnesses, including her captured accomplices, described systematic torture and murder, all orchestrated by the Countess herself. The trial was a sensation, but Elizabeth Bathory herself was never formally tried. Her noble blood protected her from a public execution. Instead, her fate was perhaps even more haunting. By order of the king, she was walled up within a set of rooms in her own castle. Her accomplices were not so fortunate. They were brutally executed for their roles in the crimes. For the final 4 years of her life, Elizabeth lived in this self-contained prison. Food was passed through a small slit in the wall. She was left alone with her thoughts, surrounded by the stones that had once been the seat of her power and had now become her tomb. She died in 1614, her name forever cemented in history as a symbol of monstrous vanity. But here is where the story becomes even more mysterious. Many modern historians question the official narrative. They point out inconsistencies in the witness testimonies, many of which were extracted under torture. They suggest that the Bathory legend was a calculated political smear campaign. Elizabeth was a wealthy, powerful Protestant widow in a Catholic-dominated kingdom. Her vast fortune was a tempting prize for the indebted king and her political rivals, including her cousin Thezo, who stood to gain from her downfall. Could it be that the story of the Blood Countess was an exaggeration, a fabrication designed to seize her lands and titles? Was she simply a strict and cruel mistress, whose reputation was twisted into a supernatural horror story for political gain? The original documents from her trial were sealed for over a century, and many have been lost to time, leaving us with more questions than answers. We may never know the full truth. The legend of Elizabeth Bathory lives on, a chilling blend of fact and fiction. She has become the archetype for the female vampire, the beautiful aristocrat with a dark secret. Her story forces us to look into the abyss of human nature and ask what we are capable of. What lines can be crossed in the pursuit of power, wealth, or the fleeting illusion of eternal youth? The stones of Čachtice Castle are silent now, but they hold the secret of whether she was a monster, a victim, or both. The mysterious woman who bathed in blood remains one of history's most enduring and terrifying enigmas. Thank you for joining me on this deep dive into the shadows of the past. If you find these historical mysteries as fascinating as I do, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more explorations into the unknown. Stay curious.